What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, a couple of years ago, I was a huge fan of Gotham. Uh, really kind of sad that I kind of felt like towards the end it went off the air. I am still a little bit sad, though, that it's no longer on air. It was actually a really good show. It was a brilliant idea. I thought they did some really interesting things with James Gordon. The Penguin, I mean, just completely and totally changed that character for me. I was kind of actually a little bit disappointed with the Batman that they kind of went with the normalized version of the Penguin instead of doing something different, kind of like what Gotham did with the Penguin. I thought that would have been a more nuanced way of doing the Penguin, but apparently they don't want to venture too far from the norm. But Gotham PD showrunner addresses question about show similarities to Gotham. As everybody know, Gotham PD is going to be a new show on HBO Max that apparently is going to be, I hate to say it, just a clone of Gotham. It says right here, Gotham PD showrunner Joe Barton says his Batman spinoff series on HBO Max will be nothing like Fox's Gotham. Nothing, nothing. Let's read on and find out. It says right here, fans have been reaching out to Joe Barton on Twitter to ask about the upcoming spinoff series, which will serve as a prequel to Matt Reeves' The Batman. One user asked how different the new show will be from Gotham, which tackled a similar story. According to Barton, his show will be very different. Oh, very different. Very completely different. Nothing alike. Nothing alike. But let's find out how. Barton didn't go into further detail on how the two shows will differ. But when another user replied to the first response, Barton noted that he wouldn't be that interested in remaking a show that ended like 5 minutes ago. Well, you probably took on the wrong project then, didn't you now, buddy? Uh, Goes on to state, talks about Gotham. And then it says, one thing to consider is that while both shows will likely follow a similar path, the HBO Max series is likely to be much darker. Gotham began as a grim and gritty look at police corruption in the comic book city before leaning heavily into the campier sides of Batman's history and exploring the hero's eccentric rogue gallery. The creators of Gotham even said the new show will probably end up being the series they wanted to make. While reports initially claimed Gotham PD would adapt the Gotham Central comic co-creator Ed Brubaker recently claimed that wasn't the case. Instead, the show will center on James Gordon in the time before Batman protected Gotham. As noted, this is essentially the plot of Gotham, meaning the new show will need to work hard to differentiate itself. Um, Look, as a Star Wars fan, I will give y'all a little piece of advice. Um, when you keep rehashing the same thing over and over again, uh, and expecting it to be nuanced, you're not actually going anywhere. And I say this because Star Wars, what does Star Wars deal with? They deal with like the 18 years when Anakin's fall, and then, of course, Anakin's fall again as Darth Vader. So, I mean, they usually like to stick in that time frame, even though there's a vast, canon of material out there. Um, Actually, thousands of years and untold stories that a lot of people that just watch the movies and series don't even know about. Amazing stories, but they're never told because we like talking about the same old crap over and over and over again. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy some of it, but I'm like, let's hear something new and original. Same goes for this. I mean, I like Gotham. And they say it's campy. Yeah, there was some really campy versions. No doubt, no doubt. Um, it did have a dark and gritty way about it, though. I mean, look, as much as I love Batman, you have to take into consideration that we are talking about a guy that runs around in a bat suit. It's hard not to be campy when you're talking about that. I get it. In the comics, it looks so cool and it looks so legit. But when you bring it to like the big screen or even these TV series, it starts looking a little fake, stupid in some ways. I thought Gotham actually did a really great job of kind of making um, it more realistic. So I mean, yeah, you could say, well, they didn't. It wasn't dark enough, and that's how the shows are really going to want it, like what Gotham PD is going to be able to do, where they make it as dark as possible. Why is dark better? Why is see that's where I disagree with a lot of people on. They're like, oh man, if only some of these shows could be made on let's take Supernatural for instance. If Supernatural could have been made on another program, something like I don't know Amazon Prime. Think of how dark and amazing it would be. Is dark and amazing? I mean, is dark like a synonym of better plot? Because I don't think it is. Because you know what, I almost kind of enjoy shows that are on the CW and Fox and so forth, simply because they do have restrictions and they don't get bogged down in the overly adult stuff. Um, that shows like on Stars, really have to really face. Um, it's like I mean, there is so many different shows on Stars, Netflix, um, HBO that just get so they spend more time trying to be adult than what they do actually trying to tell us a good story. So you know what? I kind of have a lot of respect for a lot of these CW shows, Fox shows, and any shows that's come before them on any of those, those programming channels that really have to substitute darkness, I guess, for just good plots, interesting plots. So no, I don't feel like this is a um, very good start for Gotham PD. I feel like Gotham PD. I mean, if this is just what I'm thinking, Gotham PD is going to be an exact clone of what Gotham actually was, except they're going to probably have some nude scenes, and some foul language. Maybe they'll even show some more blood. Like, oh, that's gonna change. It's gonna change this completely. It's gonna change the whole story completely by having that. No, it won't. No, it won't. I'm sorry. I just don't buy into that. Maybe that's the author in me. I just don't like um, uh, using those visual effects as substance. I feel like it's lazy writing. I feel like, and I've gone on rants about this numerous times when it comes to series or movies or whatever, where you have like, especially series, that are on HBO, Stars, or whatever it is. They usually spend more time on, like, let's say sex scenes. We'll have a 10-15 minute sex scene, and then we'll have one later on down the road. Well, in an hour's worth of programming, that takes up like half of it. So I'm like, I mean, we might, don't get me wrong. Hey, I don't mind that every now and then, but it seems like the older I get, the more I'm like, I just kind of want to see the story in this. Like, I'm not a 15-year-old boy anymore. Like, I want to see some substance in these stories. So if I'm interested in a show, I want to watch that show simply because of the story. And of course, a lot of people probably disagree with me, and that's fine. But that's my take on it. Um, I always worry about any show, that when they use the word, well, we're going to make this darker, or when they try to compare it, well, it couldn't be on, like, let's say the CW or Fox or whatever, because of the adult content, because adult content usually means wasted substance, is what I get out of it. I mean, I don't care one bit if you use the word darn or damn. It doesn't change the show to me. That's my feeling about it. I'm look, right off the bat, not interested in Gotham PD, not even in the least bit. I enjoy Gotham. You say what you want about it. Did it get bad towards the end? Oh, it definitely got stupid towards the very end. But I mean, overall, I would say, for a show that's just based off of Jim Gordon, especially when you know that there's like Batman in the background, the world of Batman that doesn't deal with Batman, and then you make that into a success. I say that's a pretty good show. I mean, because everybody's going to be calling for Batman, and so them showing him what at the last scene or part of him during the last scene of the show. So I'm like, this show was pretty amazing for its time. It was pretty amazing for the world that it was in, and the idea that they're just going to do a darker version of it on HBO Max. I mean, I'm like, come on, that does a disservice to Gotham, and it also is just lazy. It's just lazy recreation of this. It's just something to make some money. We're going to create a show because we can now, because we're doing DC now, and we're going to just create as many shows out there and just see if any of them stick. That's really what it's going to be. It's just to get all these fanboys and all this other stuff excited. The fans of DC and so forth excited about anything that's DC, and they believe that these fans will watch it no matter what it is, whether it's a clone of it or just even not that good. Um, but I will say this, DC fans, and I'm saying this as one of y'all too, um, be careful with that, because we've all seen what Star Wars is like when it comes to that. So yeah, it could go down a bad route really quick. I mean, we could just get a bunch of filler shows that really aren't that good. They're just those shows in name only. And people watch them, but they're not really that good, and they do a disservice to the content that they're trying to cover. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all are excited about seeing Gotham PD. I personally think it sounds like utter trash. That's just me. But let me know what y'all think. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.